episode 1 of Culture and Cannabis podcast, and I got my guy, my main dude over here next to me, Tony, full-time Tony.
What's good?
Listen, we're gonna jump into this. This is everything marketing, personal branding, right? Cannabis, culture, all that stuff included in all that stuff. So
yeah, but more too.
Yeah, and all that stuff. And listen, this is just episode 1, so who knows where this is really gonna go, right?
The Culture and Cannabis podcast.
That's what it is. We got our first guest here, REDX in the building. What's good, brother?
Yes, sir. What's up? Great to be here. Appreciate y'all for having me. Culture and Cannabis all day.
Yeah. What's going on, brother? How we doing?
Man, just living life. I literally just woke up recovering from last night. Bro, I feel like I had so many edibles. Like, just like, you know, the thing is, like, you eat edibles and, like, you just eat them. And, like, we have now so many great chefs, so, like, them shits don't taste bad. So I was just eating. And then later on, I'm like, damn, I'm high. Hold up. Like, but it was great. It was a great time. So
What happened last night?
Culture and Cannabis, I got to perform. We had a fashion show. Bro, it was just dope. It was
fucking wild.
It was a dope ass night. Shout out to everybody that came out, man.
That's awesome.
That's what it is. Yeah, downtown, first Friday, right? We had about 600 attendees, right? About 45 vendors.
Yeah.
Fashion show, I think like 3 bands, couple DJs.
Ooh, bro, that shit was
The Pot Brothers at Law was there, right?
Yeah, those guys.
Stoner Rob, right? We learned the script, right? What to do when you get pulled over, right?
I know that script very well now.
Damn, I missed out.
You-
I ain't hear the script.
Yeah, you didn't hear the script.
Essentially, it's just shut the fuck up.
Facts.
The cops talk to you just to be quiet.
Facts. That's a good thing.
the Pot
I need
Brothers
to learn
at Law.
that lesson.
Well, listen, man. So, regarding the Culture and Cannabis, I think you performed there with us like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, man. I remember when y'all first started, like, came to the city and I seen a flyer and I was like, yeah, I gotta get in on that. I gotta perform. I gotta figure that out. So, as soon as I met you, we like that happened. I was like, hell yeah.
How did that happen? Somebody connected us, right?
Yeah,
Like,
shout outs to Brooksy. Yeah, Brooksy at Baked Goods or Candy Grills. He linked us up, bro. He's the first one. He gave me one of those grills like immediately. He was like, yo, you gotta check this out. And gave it to me, and I was in my mouth. He's like, yeah, that's infused, 100 milligrams. I was like, bro, I got to rap. Like, everybody's trying to get me high. Bro. I got to rap.
Yeah, we're talking about Brooksy, right?
Yeah.
He's the Canna Chef Union, right?
Yes, sir.
He sports the gold grills.
Yes, sir.
And
That's a cool dude. I've never actually met him in person, but I've seen him all over.
Bro, you
Instagram.
gotta have that's him. Like, he's such a character, such a smiling, like, let's get it done. He's straight. He's such a hustler too.
I can feel his energy through Instagram.
Facts. That's that type of energy.
And that's what I love about the cannabis industry as a whole, and going through this experience of the Culture and Cannabis event is just so many people really trying to, like, get to that next level.
Yeah.
They're hustling, right? There's they're startups, they got their brands, right? And
Facts, yo. And everybody love weed, yo. So it's dope. Like,
Exactly.
everybody really, like, supports each other in the cannabis industry. Everybody's no weird and all. So it's like everybody wants to get it. Everybody wants to have fun. Just smoke some weed. So
and it's like we have all walks of life over there, right?
literally
Like,
everybody, bro. Like, that's why I love performing, because, like, then when you do other shows, it'd be different type of people. It would be the same type of people, but with that show, Culture and Cannabis is everybody, because everybody enjoy weed.
Right.
So,
I mean, it is. It's international, right?
It's a melting pot, right?
Yeah,
It is.
That's
I mean,
the great part about weed.
Yeah, I mean, I think we had. I mean, no disrespect, but like little old ladies in wheelchairs. We had old guys with walkers in the building. You know, and then we had young kids, and every color across the board was in the building. It's a beautiful thing,
Yeah, weed will end racism, bro.
Right.
If everyone started smoking weed, it would be over.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, there'd be no racism, none of that. If everybody just high.
Everyone would be cool with each other.
What is it about cannabis that does that, right? What is it that has that effect?
They got that. That's what Cat Williams said. We got that chemical in it called "fuck it," and it just once you smoke that shit, like, you like, man, fuck everything. They finna turn the lights off. Oh shit, I got some candles I've been waiting to light, like, shit, just be ready to go. Like, that's the favorite thing about it. Like, so lately I've been traveling a whole lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I be high as hell when I'm traveling. And the reason I be high as hell is because, as long as I have my vape pen, right? Because if I'm high and I got my headphones, I'm in my whole own world. No matter where I'm at, like, I could be in a 1,000 people room and I'm by myself. So that shit is beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That is good.
And I think I saw on your Instagram you're in Miami recently.
Bro, yeah, I was. I went for Art Basel. Or Art Basel. I don't know how you say that. I'm not famous. But I went and that shit was beautiful. First, there was, like, so much art, so much culture in Miami. But a lot of cities, like, you never know how they gonna react when I come out there, because I just come out there to play buckets. Like they gonna hate me or they gonna love me. Miami showed me mad love. I played in Miami for 2 days. I didn't even have a place to stay, bro. I just went to Miami because tickets were. That's all. I'd be flying Spirit, and like if you wake up, Spirit might have a 90% off sale. Like,
right.
So I think Spirit had like a 70-something% off sale, and they wasn't letting me play out here. So I was like, man, I'm just go to Miami. I went to Miami, bro. I made $1,000 in 2 days. I was like, life is good, bro. I was like, shout outs to Miami. So
shout out to Spirit too, right?
Yeah, shout outs to Spirit.
They used
too.
to have that $9.99 club. Y'all remember that, the $9 club?
Bro, I've gone everywhere and some more on Spirit. Like everybody be talking shit, but I smoke weed, so I don't know the flight. So I mean, I wake up and I'm there. Like,
Yeah.
Well, let's dive into this a little bit. So, like, you keep mentioning that you play on buckets and whatever.
Yeah.
What is that? What are you doing?
Man. Okay, so I'm a rapper, of course, but the only job I've ever had is I'm a full-time street performer. So I drum on buckets, like 5-gallon buckets. Came up as a bucket drummer. I'm second generation. Like my pops used to bucket drum in the subways in New York. So that's like an art that either you pick it up and you love it or hate it. Like no one can force that shit on you or nothing, but when I picked it up, I was 12. Like he taught me when I was little. Then I moved. I'm from Vegas, so I moved out here. I never really drummed this shit. And then when I got to I want to say 12. I remember complaining to my mom's. I was like, Mama, I need I said I was hungry or something. And she said some smart ass. Like I'll be like, Mom, I'm hungry. She be like, hi, I'm Melissa. Like so I'm like, damn. Like so I want to say I asked my mom for some money or something. And she was like, well, I don't know what you want me to do. Like you better find some buckets and hit. And she was playing. But nah, she was dead ass serious. So like the next thing I know, like I'm on the strip, playing, and then I've been out there. I think the first day I made like $300.
This is you at 12 years old.
Yeah, 12 years old. What? Imagine that, bro. I went out to play for like 2, 3, 4 hours on the strip, make $300. That was the end of anything. You couldn't tell me shit from that point on. I was like,
you was hooked.
Yeah, bro. Everybody else was getting jobs and getting like $10 an hour, and I was like, bro, if 10 people pass me and I get $10, I'm pissed. So like. From that point on, I played up until I played consecutively on the strip all through high school until I turned 20. And then when I turned 20, I'm 21 now. Last year, they shut that shit down. They don't want no street performers on the strip.
Right. I remember that. And I think this is like the essence of this podcast, right?
Yeah,
the true hustle, right? How it gets into people, how you kind of run with it and express with it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about it, right? So I guess a couple years ago they passed some laws in Las Vegas to where you had to get a street performer permit. What is that?
Okay, so in Las Vegas, there's 2 places you can street perform. You can street perform on the Strip, and you can street perform on Fremont Street, right? So a lot of people don't know this, but the actual Strip is not a part of the city of Las Vegas, and that's why I put them on blast, because the first thing I did when I had an issue, like I went to the mayor. Like, hey, like, they're taking me to jail illegally. Like, is there something we can do about this? And she said, hey, because street performing, for people who don't know, it's covered under our freedom of speech. It's one of our, like, it goes into that. They've taken it to court. So she was like, there's nothing I can do. The Strip's not under my jurisdiction. So what they did is they allocated places on Fremont for the street performers. And it's these little like circles, and they have like a bunch of rules you gotta follow if you're gonna do it.
It's literally a circle on the ground.
Yeah,
and
it's
you
a
have
2-foot circle.
Okay.
You gotta stand in it, and it's like they switch you off every 2 hours. They'll cut your like. It's a cool system. It doesn't really work for street performing though, because it puts everybody against each other. It kind of like makes a competition. Now I have to compete with the guy that's right next to me, and it doesn't allow you to set your own schedule. And the benefits of street performing. Street performing's not supposed to be a dead end job, and that's what they see it as. They see it as like all these cats they see it as these dudes making a little bit of money, and that's it. But street performing is supposed to be a platform to take you to bigger and higher places. So we were able to, on the Strip, we were able to pay, and people were buying cars and houses and doing bigger things and make investments. But on Fremont, you probably just working to pay off a ticket that they gave you on Fremont. Honestly, like it's not a hustle out there.
I think they put it in the same category as like panhandling, right? When it's nothing.
Yeah,
like
we are not panhandlers.
Yeah,
No, they do that, and that's something like. So you talked about I was in Miami. Miami used to have a law too, an anti-panhandling law, and they ended up that doesn't work out, bro. I'm not a panhandler. We're not. If any panhandler you know is making $1,000 in 2 days, let me know.
Right.
Like, please. Like,
well, I love how you framed it up. It's freedom of expression, right?
Yeah,
you know,
man.
and
That's all it is. Like, me, everybody, we're just out there playing our music, and if you rock with us, you give us some money. If you don't like it. So we're not asking for. We literally wouldn't know. I don't know any performers out there asking for anything. Everybody's just doing what they love, and when you get to paid, when you're able to get paid for do what you love, and I think everybody has something they love, and they should be able to get paid for it, because when you do, it changes your whole mindset. You don't want to work for nobody else. You don't want to. You realize how valuable your time is, and that shit is dangerous to everything they got set up. So. You know how that go.
Very dangerous.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Like
very dangerous.
Yeah, bro. I've been able to make like, it took. So I'm just now figuring out about credit cards and all that shit, because I've been able to function and get by and get the crib and all that completely off the books because it's street performing. And then when I go somewhere, they're like, huh? Well, I don't exist to them. Shit.
Right. You're not part of the program here, right?
Yeah. I don't even exist. I didn't. That bro. That's I didn't. I used to be mad paranoid. I even used to I smoked mad weed. So I used to be mad paranoid. I didn't even want to Apple got your little phone and shit. I didn't even want to put my fingerprint on there until they took me to jail, bro. And then I was like, fuck it. They got me. They got me. I'm in the system.
That's crazy. So when they took you to jail, what was it, trespassing or
bro,
what was it for?
The last time I got taken to jail, right? So I'm playing buckets on the bridge and doing my thing. Beautiful day. It's noon. I just got out
strip.
there. Yeah, on the strip. So I just got out there. My thing was I play from noon to 4, and the police come out at 4:30. So 4 then I can make $200-$300 and I'm out. It's noon. I set up and I'm playing. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I just started, and there's this a family. It's 2 white guys, kind of a littler guy. It looks like the kid, and then a woman. Right? They look like clearly a family. They're walking on the bridge. They're rocking out. They're jamming. And they walk right up to me, right? And they all go in their pockets they're getting money out. Whatever. I'm literally already thanking them for their money. And the cop, the first cop in front of me, pulls out his pockets, a badge, puts it in my face, and he's like, "Got your ass." Bro, they immediately put me in cuffs. Undercover cops. They put me in cuffs. They put me in this paddy wagon. They drove me up and down the strip for 6 hours, me and there's a kid that sells waters on the strip. He's 13. 2 other cats. They just drive us up and down the strip in the back of this truck, and then they take us to jail, and then they leave us in jail till 4 a.m. The whole time I'm in jail, people are like, the sergeants, "What are you in here for?" I'm drumming on the strip. They laugh at me. Then when I get out of jail, I either have no charge. They take all the money and everything, but I have no charge, or I have a charge for obstruction of the sidewalk. And then when I go to court, they just throw that shit away.
That's crazy.
So I'm just it's like a scare tactic for them. They don't want us out. It is for me. It's not work. I don't like being in jail. It's not a cool place, and so I'm fuck that. It's not. So just take it to the next level, like you said.
Yeah. I think and for people that don't know, right? So the strip, right? It's just a bunch of tourists, and there's all kinds of hustlers down there, right? And you really do have your bad hustlers, your panhandlers, the people peddling porn and stuff like that, and then you having these water operations, right?
And that's why, I take it so to heart, because I'm bro, he's selling crack right there.
Right.
You gonna take me to jail for you see him selling crack. That's how I feel like there's literally on the strip, you'll find signs of numbers that'll be you need some coke, hit me. And then somebody really selling coke, but I'm down there playing drug and buckets, and they got a sting operation to get the Blake. That's weird.
Yeah, and they do it every 2 or 3 years. They'll be all right, we're gonna go clean up the strip.
Right? Yeah.
Just go sweep everybody.
Yeah, I heard. I could be wrong, because I'm not going back out there. Fuck that. But I heard that they got performers are back out there right now, and that's normally how it goes. In the beginning of the year, people get comfy and they go back out there, and then somewhere around May, they just go hard and they just get everybody, and then
right.
It's just tickets, bro. And it's like a $300 ticket for a street performer. When you take away and that's the part I don't get. So they don't want us on the strips, so they give us Fremont Street. Fremont Street is anybody money wise. The amount of money that's on the strip is literally 10 times more than what's on Fremont Street. So they want us to everybody on Fremont Street, and they want everybody, but nobody's making no money on Fremont Street. And then on top of that, on Fremont, they still come by and once a month write everybody the same tickets that they would write us on the strip. But now it's the city of Las Vegas. So a lot of the performers out there, they're just working to pay off tickets. They're not even working. For them, that's wild to me.
That is wild.
That's bonkers, bro. I can't stand it. So
that's crazy.
It's almost ridiculous, honestly.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
It's just so crazy that you're trying to express an art form, and they're just trying to.
Yeah, bro. The police told me, they said, "Yeah, we know this is wrong, but if you want to do something about it," they said, "Go to the Supreme Court," and they laughed. what do I look like going to the Supreme Court, bro?
I mean, it's not impossible.
That's what I'm starting to think. I just want to rap.
Yeah.
But they want me in the Supreme Court. I mean, if that's where it's not even about me though, cause like I'm blessed where I'm lucky enough to have other talents and other things that I pursue and able to take things to the next level. But like I know people that are out there, like that's their job, that's their hustle. I know people that have lost their crib, they're not paying for stuff because all of a sudden street performing there's their job, and you go take that away from them, like man, it's
bullshit.
Yeah, bro, it's complete BS. So.
What's it like in the subways, right? Like,
bro, but it's now when I play in the subways, police are the nicest people in New York. They love you. They support you. And playing like performing in subways, they love that shit. Now, right? But the only reason they're like that is because I'm 20 now. So 20 years ago, 21, 22 years ago, going through the same exact shit was my father and my uncle. And them niggas, they went through all this and they would get in a lot of trouble. Same thing. Police would come and bother them. They would arrest them. I don't know specifics, but I know eventually they went, same thing on fighting it. And in New York, there was a change of office. And the new person that came in was very supportive of them. However, in Vegas, like I said, the Strip is not under the mayor's jurisdiction. So the mayor, whoever, we can have as many changes of office as we want, but the Strip is like a private jurisdiction owned by the casinos. That's this huge gray area they don't want to talk about. So I'm like, can I just talk to who's in charge? And they're like, no, you can't. And okay, I thought this was America.
But you're looking past the bullshit. You're talking about other talents that you had, right? Like what are those talents?
Well, I'm a full-time rapper, really. Really, I'm a great drummer. I'm an amazing drummer, but like I'm a rapper. Like I rap my ass off. Always have before I started drumming and everything. So I rap, I sing, I act. I'm just a full-time entertainer, man. Just love to have fun and make people feel good.
You think you get that from your dad?
Yeah, man. I grew up like my first memories are just like stages and performing and like musicals. Like I just thought that's what it was. Like that was just so cool to me, and seeing him performing. Like some of my first memories of being backstage is at like Lauryn Hill's rehearsals.
Damn.
Like yeah, bro. And I didn't know not knowing anything about anything. I just love music. Like so. I couldn't escape it if I tried. Like,
did you do like anything like that in high school? Like,
so actually I went to LVA.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I even before LVA I went to. So I actually went to Las Vegas has great performing arts schools, bro. But I went to K.O. Knutson in middle school for performing arts. You would think I went for drums, but I actually went for theater. Right. I went to LVA for theater as well, and musical theater because I wanted to be a rapper. I always knew that. And I figured the art of storytelling, I gotta learn to tell a story and I gotta learn to perform.
Yeah.
So that school like hounded that shit into me for, and people don't know, but like LVA is a high school, but it has a program that's a lot better than a lot of college programs.
Oh yeah.
Especially in terms of theater. So I was real blessed. So once I had my training, I was like, I'm running with it.
What's the plan for the next, like in the rap game?
Man, I spent the last couple of years. Not releasing any music, just making a huge lot of music and then just figuring out what to do with it. Cause I'm independent, so like just figuring out the right way to approach everything and to own everything. Finally I can say like I got a plan. I'm figuring it out. So about to just start dropping music, bro, and just get back to like just performing. Cause I've been touring with the Buckets and going all places where I have a fan bases and I have shows and I haven't even rapped yet. Like that's so dope to me that I have fan bases where I'm like haven't even got to do what I do yet. So go back, hit those places again, rap, but with music. Because people keep asking me, when does the music drop? When does the music drop? And I was I'm a perfectionist, so like, had to get that shit right. But
Perfect.
It's right, yeah.
How's the community in Vegas? Like when it comes to like hip hop and
Vegas, like again, nobody knows, but Vegas has like the most beautiful art community, like with everything. So with hip hop, it's such a dope. I hate like splitting things up.
Yeah.
But Vegas has such a dope hip hop community, dope rap community, dope music community. In Vegas, I always say the sound of Vegas is the noir movement, cause like real Vegas sound is like this unique blend of like live music and hip hop and R&B and neo soul, and it's a sound that's very unique to Vegas. Like and I only say this because me and my homies, we spent the last couple years traveling, just doing music, and everybody's making some dope music all over the country. But when there's not, you could take us out the mix. There's something in Vegas where nobody here sounds like everybody else here. Everybody else somewhere else is moving in a way that's a little more professional, because they kind of know what they're doing. In Vegas, everybody's just figuring out, like, we're laying the groundwork, so everybody's just figuring out. But in terms of talent, in terms of what they're actually creating, the kids out here, what they're making, you're like, whoa, it's beautiful. Everybody's normally real supportive. You get another, like, Vegas is Vegas. So sometimes you get some out of towners that don't really blend, or they try to. I think they would blend, but they try to make it feel like they don't. So they try to create some sort of tension or some opposition, like, I stand out, so make me stand out. Let me extra stand out, but it's all love.
So no beef with anybody right now.
It's a couple cats trying, but I smoke too much weed to have anything but love for everybody, man.
It has that fuck it mentality.
Yeah,
right?
man. I got love for everybody. Like, I never hate on nobody hustle. If you gonna hate on mine, then I don't know what to tell you, because I got love for you.
Any future collabs coming up with any local hip hoppers?
So of course I got. There's gonna be an album coming out with the Noir movement. I try to work with everybody. Like, if there's a local artist in this city, I'm gonna put them, and I'm gonna big up them, and I try to work with everybody. Like, yeah, man, everybody from Brittany Rose, Zelly Vibes, to Mike Xavier, Noir. If there's everybody in this city, I would like to work.
Did you get to connect with Mike Xavier at the last show, or?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Mike is like one of the OGs out here. So always get a chance to chop it up with Mike. Mike wasn't there last night.
Right. But
the only reason Mike wasn't there last night because he had a sold out show at Vinyl.
Yeah.
So that was like, hell yeah, like, that's beautiful.
Yeah, he sold out like 750 tickets.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, bro, that's beautiful. Like, Vegas artists. That's why I'm telling people, like, 5 years ago, we weren't able to do this, and like, people don't understand. I'm like, nah, bro, they really weren't taking us any types of serious. We would be banging at radio stations' doors going, they wouldn't give us no concerts, no nothing. Now they got Zelly on the radio, they got Mike selling out. Like, it's really a time for Vegas artists, and that's why I say in that song, I say Vegas on the rise, and we proving it. Like, it's just about everybody showing people what we got going on, and there's a lot of BS everywhere else, but there's some real talent, and I love that. Like, I love see talent shining, just people being creative.
I think there's a lot of the community, the sports teams coming to town. Like, the town is getting closer. You know what I mean? Like Mike texted me yesterday morning. The day of his show, he knew I had a show last night, and he's like, "Bro, good luck on your show tonight. I hope you kill it." You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, man.
He's just a stand-up guy.
Yeah, bro. It's that type of support that we need, yo. Like, all that other energy is not worth it, but like, when everybody stands behind what they make, but what the next person makes, then everybody eats, and that's what when you got a situation where everybody can be eating, everybody can be happy, and that's what we got on to right here.
Yeah, and you can look at. I love that you said that too, because you can look at places like Atlanta, for example, right? Dude, so many people. Atlanta's hot,
right? And it's just because one person ate, and they were like, "No, look at the homie, and look at the homie." And that's Vegas is one of those situations where we've been saying this for mad long, like, oh, once we kick down the door, we got it. Once we kick down the door, we got it. But I think everybody, like, got so into work in their head, they didn't even realize, the door is wide open right now. Like, we did it.
Right.
Yeah, so it's just like, just getting in there and doing what we do, man.
And it's really cool to see, being born and raised in Vegas, right? Like, I always tell these guys when I was growing up, I used to tell all my family's from back east, from New York. And
same, bro.
Yeah, so my mom's from Brooklyn, my dad's from Syracuse. I used to tell people I was from New York because I didn't want to tell people I was from Vegas because I thought it was embarrassing,
bro.
And then once I moved away, I realized, like, no, Vegas is fucking awesome,
bro. Let me tell you, so like I said, I moved here in Vegas when I was first grade, so I was 5 years old, right? I carried me being from New York until I graduated high school, right? Graduated high school and moved back to New York. Bro, I was out there for a whole year, and I was like, bro, I'm from Vegas. I got to take my ass home. Like, what am I doing? So, yeah, man, just be true to yourself. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, like, because other places got, like, a step ahead of you. Vegas didn't have, but now we are the groundwork. So, it's dope to, like, yeah, we from Vegas. And there's going to be kids after us that are really repping Vegas the way that we were so ready to rep New York.
Yes, 120%.
Yeah.
And that's so cool to see, right? Like, the whole repping the city.
Bro, hell yeah. Bro, I tell people rep that city, bro, because there's no place in the world like this place. No place in the world. Like, no, people have no idea what it's like. And then that's what makes it so beautiful, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so nobody has any idea what it's like growing up here. So there's a million stories you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And people are like, what? And so as an artist, like, all we doing is just telling stories and reflecting our life. So I think that's beautiful.
What's your best story from growing up in Vegas?
Growing up in Vegas.
You could give a couple if you want to.
Man,
we got time.
I did a lot of bad-ish growing up. But the thing is, Vegas is like, when you growing up, you know, you had no trouble. You had either cause trouble or make music.
Yeah.
So I hung out with a lot of people that caused trouble and made music. No, my favorite stories, like I said, they didn't used to let us perform anywhere, right? So in high school, we used to throw the Noir Movement, a couple of other cats that I went to school with, One Militia. They used to throw we used to throw events in the backyard, right? Started off mad little, like just 20 kids in the backyard. By the time we finished, like my junior year actually, we sold like 300 plus tickets. We had a warehouse sold out from Mike nights, like backyard Vegas stuff. Bro, Metro was so ready to shut that shit down. They was outside but they couldn't. And the reason they couldn't, I think we did like a collab, and there's also a biker event right next door. Like, they couldn't say shit, bro. And it was that was like in high school. That was one of the times I was like, yeah, we could do this shit. Like, it was so hype. Everybody, it was so lit. That part, if you was at House of Bandits, you know what I'm talking about. But that shit was wild.
I think it's dope that, like, you know, looking back on other people's stories, you know, I'm 43, right? So I think I'm like, you know, probably a couple decades older than you guys, right? But it's interesting to see, like, you know, certain events that happen in your life, like, you know, your dad influenced you with the buckets, right? Like the story that you just told about having success with the events, you know, as a kid, how that influences you, right? And you probably got that feeling, right, from those type of wins that you had, and it's really kind of created the path for you moving forward, and you still want to, like, crave to, like, participate in those type of situations.
It's just like, I'm always thinking like, I got a real critical mindset, and I'm a perfectionist. So when I do something, I'm like, how or what can I do to make that better? Always, like, as soon as I get off stage, I'm like, I ask myself, was that a good performance, and how can I make it 10 times better? Even if, like, I feel I did amazing, I'm like, how can I, so I see that just overall, like, everything's just getting better. So when we do like shows and shit, you're right, like, I'm like, damn, like, that was a great show. I'm like, now what's next? So that shit just, like, always pushes me. And then, like, I try to surround myself with people who I think are 10 times better than me at everything. Like, my band is 10 times better than me in music, this and that. But just because I want to, like, I feel like I want to learn, like, want to learn as much as I can and as many skills as I can, just to keep improving and keep doing shit.
Nice.
But bro, think of Culture and Cannabis. But, like, if we did everything that we couldn't do because they won't let us do,
right?
That's what House of Bandits was. And we was like 16, 17. We had no business doing that shit, bro. But it sold like 300 tickets. So, like, we're rocking, man.
Yeah, fuck it.
That was one of those times. So
yeah, full send.
That's some shit that, like, this old Vegas shit now.
Old Vegas, yeah.
They would never.
Let's talk about perfectionism, right? And so it's a topic for me that, like, you know, I've really been focusing on it over the last year. And for me, right, I kind of take this position where I don't need things to be perfect, right? Because you know, perfection doesn't exist, right? And so when I get hung up on it being perfect, then that stops my workflow of moving forward, right? And so for me, perfection is like the constant you know, movement towards getting better, right? It's not making sure that something's perfect right then before I release it, right? So with you and perfectionism, does it hold you back from creating?
Hell yeah. Not okay. So yeah, in a sense that I used to but, like, it basically what you just said. It took someone saying that to me at some point where I was like, you know what, you're right, because, like, I will hold on to music for years, bro, like years. Just cause, like, it'll be one thing off, I'll be like, nah, like, I can't release it until they got to the point where, like, I would hear shit on the radio and everywhere else, and I'm like, oh, this shit is ass. Like all this shit is ass, but I can't say shit because I literally haven't released what I'm thinking, right? Because I'm like, oh, it's not that perfect. But even what I'm thinking, shit, what I made was 10 times better than that. But I'm on myself, so I was like, I almost have to humble yourself and just be like, it's okay. I'm growing, like you said, I'm working towards being perfect because nothing is perfect. But I'm still like, especially when it comes to music and perfectionism, I feel like when I hear a song, I hear it. So I have to make that shit exactly how I hear it, or I'm like, man, fuck that shit. Like I won't even like it.
I feel like that paralyzes a lot of people, especially artists, right? I think about like, Michael Jackson, right? How many unreleased songs did he have that were probably his best hits that we never heard?
No, right, because he just didn't feel that they were perfect. And yeah, man, it's just like, cause you're just asking people like, yes, I want to be vulnerable and I want y'all to judge me. So if I want y'all to judge me, like, I wanted y'all to feel this exactly what I'm seeing. So I feel that, but it's, bro, you'll kill yourself being a perfectionist because it's not gonna work. Like,
I'm trying to get people to be like, well, let's drop the perfectionist thing, right? It's okay to have high standards, though. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And talking about the culture and cannabis, right? I think last night, just like we said earlier, 45 vendors, 600 attendees. We did that event for a year straight, and nobody came. Right? I did that in front of everybody. Everybody saw me doing these events, and they would come, and there would be nobody there, right? But what if I got hung up on that? You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And so, I had high standards, and I knew that what needed to be done, so I participated in those activities, and I kept it moving forward.
Yeah, man. That's the Vegas motto. Shout out to Dizzy Wright. He always says still moving. That's his company. I play buckets, and one thing I say is keep banging. And all that means is just keep going. Like, you see it. Once you got a vision, if you believe in it, and that's really all it takes. As long as you believe, you just got to keep going because no one else see it like you see it. And if you keep banging and you keep doing, you're going to make that shit happen. So I always tell everybody keep banging, man. Keep banging.
So I kind of did a little bit of a dive on your Instagram.
Oh, yeah?
And I was checking it out. I saw that your grandfather comments on a couple of your posts.
Bro, I got the most supportive family.
That's
in the world.
awesome. And I was gonna ask you about that. You obviously you come from a family of musicians.
Yeah, I think like my pops like kicked the door down because I know he had to deal with a lot of like BS. Like they're like, nah, you're not about to go bang on pots and pans and bang on buckets. But like he won Tony Awards banging on buckets and stuff. So when they see me banging on buckets, they're like. At first they were a little iffy because they're like, he banging on buckets in the strip. But as they see my vision and where it's going, they're real supportive. Like my grandpa, my mom's. I really did, bro, the most supportive family like in the world. And that keeps me like humbled. It keeps me on track and it makes sure I'm right because I don't know where I'd be without them for real.
No, definitely.
For real.
Family's most important.
Hell yeah, yo. Hell yeah. Everything I know that comes from my family. Like, and my grandpa too. He does like. He's super into theater as well, so like, he's done a lot of musicals and a lot of the performing that come from the family.
I saw that he likes to cook too. I was checking out his Instagram.
Yeah.
So, he was cooking. What's his? I wanted to remember his Instagram name, but
I think it's like Papa Star.
Yeah, Papa Star.
There you go. Yeah, Papa Star Entertainment.
Shout out to Papa Star.
Yeah, shout out to Papa Star
man.
for always believing him.
Yeah,
so your grandpa or was your dad or your grandpa that won the Tony Award?
Well, my dad, I believe he helped win the Tony Award for they have a musical, Bringing the Noise, Bringing the Funk.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a 4-time Tony Award winning show. It's a hip hop show. It includes the buckets, tap dancing. Savion Glover is the star and like director of that show. I wish that show was still around, bro. Cause like my first memories are they were on tour of this show. This show is 95 through 99 probably, but I'm 90. I was born in 97.
Yeah.
So I was born when it was touring for this show. Like that's were my real first memories of seeing like them tour a Broadway show every night. And not only that, it was the most like unique. There's not a lot of hip hop Broadway shows, and this is the hip hop Broadway show. So that shit was like, I was like, yeah, that's what I want.
Especially in the late 90s. That's
hell yeah,
kind of uncommon.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that and like that was it. Like every time I hear my pops talk about the show, he's like, bro, we got away with so much that like they would never like. We have Hamilton and you have In the Heights and but like those are hip hop musicals, but I want to say that they're hip hop musicals that have been watered down and made acceptable to be hip hop musicals, if you get what I'm saying. In Bring the Noise, Bring the Funk, there's a line in that show that says, "Don't let those crackers fool you. Come join the ranks up north." Like, they were saying some wild. It was a real, true to like raw hip hop show, and yeah, they haven't made nothing like that since. So that was a beautiful experience.
What I mean, besides your family and your dad, what other artists do you look up to or get inspired from?
Okay, so everybody in Vegas, I said my family. Yeah. God, because God is the number one musician. That guy puts all the music in my head. And then shoot, I look up to a lot of early hip hop, a lot of new hip hop. Hip hop, like in general, like people like try to like put all these little subgenres and bro, I love all of hip hop, like from New York boom bap to the most West Coast to trap to any stupid, like every I love hip hop in general. So I listen to everything. My roots come from, like I said, my pops, a lot of Lauryn Hill, a lot of Onyx, a lot of Nas, a lot of Ghostface, but also a lot of Lil Wayne, a lot of T.I., like D4L, a lot of like, so it's
a little all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place, like. Really, yeah. 50 Cent too. That's a lot of early 50. Like, I didn't realize how much early 50 was an influence on me until recently. Like, I went back and like just go listen to the Massacre and Get Rich or Die Trying, and like, bro, when Get Rich or Die Trying came out, you couldn't tell me I wasn't 50 Cent. Like, so
me either, bro.
So it was just beautiful. Like,
I was just talking with a buddy of ours, Derek. I don't know if you know Derek Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
He posts a daily video called The Daily Dose, where he you know showcases some
right.
this product, and he did In the Club with 50 Cent. And I was just asking him, because he grew up, he's like 30 now, so he was like 18, 19 when that album came out, Get Rich or Die Trying. I asked him, like, how hot was that? Like, how crazy was it to listen to that album during that time? He was like, it was wild. He told me he got a bootleg album from Queens at the time.
Facts, shout out to Queens, bro. I don't know, like, when that shit came out, when 50 Cent come out, New York City, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah. Like, so like, I don't know, man. I just saw, like, I always saw myself as who I wanted to be. So I looked up to people who I was like, I like that. I want to be like that. I like that. I want to be like that. So I took and pulled from a lot of people to create myself. Inspired. That's why I say the name of my next project is Inspired, but it's inspired by, I'm inspired by a whole lot of people, man. Just art in general.
Nice.
Yeah. When's that coming out?
I don't know. It'll be out sometime this year.
Yeah,
sometime this year.
It's a little something or what?
Yeah, no, I got like I said, I've spent the last 2 years just working on just mad music. So I have a lot of projects about to come out. Honestly, I'm just figuring out the order to put them out in. But it's 2019, so everything's
how
coming
old
out.
are you, man? How old are you?
I'm 21.
21. Nice.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very
cool.
young.
That's very young.
I'm 23.
Yeah,
I was the youngest in the room.
Everybody says that I'm young, but I be feeling old as hell, man. So I just keep pushing. I just try to think like.
You have the old soul mentality.
Yeah, man. Man.
So like, I mean, even just for me here recently, and I'm 43, right? I'm the OG in the room. Can I call myself?
Yeah,
that,
go
right?
for it.
Hell yeah.
You've earned it.
It's like the nice term for old guy, right? But I've just really gotten familiar with my process of creation, right? And gotten comfortable with it. And what I'm talking about is like when I want to create, right, before I even get started, I already know what my process is, right? And so I understand if I just get started and I go through the process, we're going to get to that other side, right? So how about you and your process? Are you close with it? Are you familiar with it? Do you know how it works?
Yeah. I'm pretty familiar. There's a couple of key things that always happen, right? Like every year I forget how to rap. Every year, bro. It never fails. There's a point in the year where I'm like, nigga, I can't rap anymore. Like I don't know how. And it normally happens like right after I drop a project. It's like almost like I guess I have my head full of rhymes and then I just hit delete. Like and it's like nothing sounds good anymore and this and that. And then normally it comes from that frustration that the next project is born. And it's been pretty consistent for as long as I've been making music. Another thing, it's weird because I'm a musician, I'm a rapper, and like I have to write. I can't sit in a room and just write. I've never been like I can sit in a room and rap to a mic. But as far as like I have to be moving. And I think that comes from I spent a lot of time. Vegas is a big city, and I always went to school like an hour away from where I lived. So I spent a lot of times on buses and walking and this and that, listening to music but rapping. Like that's how I came up. So nowadays, like if I go for a run, I'll make a crazy rap. But if I sit there in the room, that'll never come out. Like so, you ever see me? I'm like pacing around, like so I just have to be like moving and doing stuff. But I'm pretty in tune with my process now. Yeah, man. One thing I'm learning to do is just trust. Like I said, trust my head. A lot of times I would let other people's visions, other people get involved, and things wouldn't come out the way I wanted to. But a lot of times you're just like, man, I know what it is. Like I can see it. I just gotta pull it out. So
Right.
yeah, man.
What about you, Tony? You got a process?
I think every day it's a new day, so I'm always trying to figure out my creative process. I'm not a one man stand, and I don't like have like one thing that I'm really good at. I feel I have like a lot of things that I'm pretty good at, but not like a master at yet. So
I spend a lot of time on YouTube trying to learn.
Yeah, and I listen to a lot of podcasts, so I'm really trying to figure out what's truly working for me. But the biggest thing for me is like pacing. I really do think that like some type of like active walking or just even like playing with like a ball or something, right? Because it gets your head moving, right? And I think that like just getting into my mental space and like literally really like thinking things out, and once I get it all thought out, then I can put it on paper. Nice. And until that happens though, it's just a lot of shit's going up on there, right? Like
bro, I get mad overwhelmed. But I used to play a lot of Sims when I was little. I was younger. Like I say that the Sims probably taught me how to raise myself. Like I play hella Sims games. So like what I do, and I'm like, when I'm ever at a point where I'm just like, bro, I have so many ideas, but I'm like, I don't know what to do. I think of my life. I'm like, all right, well, if this is the Sims, what would you do? And that helps a whole lot. I make little goal lists and stuff. Like I treat my life like it's a Sims game. It might be.
We might be in the Sims game right now.
It might be, bro, because I be feeling like it. So
I mean, there might be more to this, right? And I think a way to look at that is kind of like the once removed, right, vision of your life, right? You're not kind of like seeing it as you're moving forward, but you're seeing it from above, right? And seeing yourself like the Sims, right?
Exactly.
And seeing what's going to happen from that like third party stance.
And trying to channel, like you said, right? Like you've always envisioned yourself as somebody else, and now you're at the point where you envision yourself as yourself.
Bro, exactly. But like you said, this is who I always saw myself as. Yeah. Other people didn't, and that's who I really was, but I didn't know that.
Exactly.
Like I just saw myself as exactly who I am now, but I had to grow into this person.
Yeah, and like 20 years from now, you're already thinking of who that person is.
Exactly. I already see him.
But until you turn 40, right?
You're right. No,
it won't happen.
Exactly. And and then the thing is, like, I can see that person. Other people might not see that. And you can't even blame other people because you got a vision. Like, we in this world, it's hard for people to see that, but they don't got to believe in you. But as long as you see it and you clearly, anything, you can make that happen. So it's just about working towards it.
Yeah.
How did you learn that?
My mom probably, bro. My mom is like she's a firm believer of anything you think is true. And now, like, everybody talks about the law of attraction and everything now, but like, no, my mom is like, since the beginning of my life, she's like, no, whatever you believe. Like, so I remember being scared of some scary movie, young, like a baby. And I remember going to my mom and I asked her, like, if monsters are real. And she was like, if you think they are. I was like, what? And she's like, if you think it's real, then it's real. That goes for anything. And like, that's just something that stuck with me. So at that point, I'm just kind of living my own world. Whatever I believe is true is true. It's not. It's
real though.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And the thing is, by moving like that, once I accepted it, because I didn't always move like that, but once like I remembered that and stuck with it, bro, everything just, I'm like, this is true. Bro, I'll go to Fremont and I'll be like, someone's gonna give me $100 today. No, it's true, bro. Somebody just give me $100. So it happens every time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that thinking positively, right? And you know what's so crazy too, and I think it happened the same with you. I can just tell that you know these ideas and these like the law of attraction stuff before you even knew it was the law of attraction, right?
Right.
And I think that is something to be said about your personality and how you're raised and
yeah, man. And my mom's raised me with a lot of love, like just love for everybody, and like I just believe that I think some key to the way the universe works is just love. Like when you do things you love and you spread love, those opportunities and that love is always gonna find its way back to you. And everything you manifested is. I feel like you can manifest everything you want, but the thing that's gonna pull it into your life is love. You follow what you love, and then that's where you get it. It's like it's the golden path, bro. You follow, so that's what I be rocking.
And did all three of us here today?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I truly believe that we're put here to create. You know what I mean? And so, you have the opportunity to create, and you have the choice what to create. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't, they're not like woke or whatever. So they live under this kind of like cloud where they just kind of move along, and they don't really make those creative choices.
Yeah, man. Like people are just surviving and not thriving.
Yeah,
and it's bogus. It's like I want everybody to change in the sense that, like, if you work in a job and you're not happy, leave. I want you to be happy. I want you to do something that's going to make you, because I know there's something you want to do. I know there's something that'll make you happy, like whatever that is. And whatever you want to do, somebody else is getting paid. Somebody else is making that money to do that. So why can't you? Why can't you support what you do by doing what you love? Because if you could, you'd be happy. You know what I mean? And I think, like I said, once you're able to fund what you do off what you love, it changes your perspective on everything, because you can start moving in your life. Oh, I can only do things I want. Wow, that's beautiful, and you can manifest some beautiful things. So it's like,
I think a lot of people get stuck with the excuses, right? Like they get stuck in the I can't quit my job because of XYZ reason.
Bro, my mama taught me can't is a bad word, and if y'all get nothing else from me, get that. Can't is a bad word. You could do anything, bro.
Bingo.
Anything and everything. Cause can't will fuck you, especially when you smoke weed. You'll be like, I can't do this. I can't, bro. You could do anything. Just get up and do it.
Yeah, just make it happen, right?
Yeah, just get up and do it, bro. Like, if there's a will, there's a way. And I'm taking my own advice. I don't know how I'm gonna get back on the strip, but I'm gonna get out there. But
we're gonna make it happen, bro.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna go to Supreme Court.
Where there's a will, there's a way. No, my real goal is, like, I know I'm gonna have to fix that for somebody else, but my goal is I want to get a kind of like how my pops and them had the musical. They did Broadway and all that. Well, Broadway is amazing. I love Broadway to death, but the Strip is an untapped platform when it comes to that type of musicals.
Oh, yeah.
And we only do Vegas shows. And in terms of, like, musicals, Vegas shows are great shows, but they're kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. They're not, like, fully shows. I want to take a full musical, Broadway musical, like, committed. That's a Tony Award-winning show, and put it on the Strip. Right. Put it in the casinos.
That's your end goal.
That's what not an end goal, but that's a next goal. Yeah, like that's something. And it can be done. We have probably, to be honest, we probably get way more people that are going on the Broadway on the Strip, and they're spending way more money. And a lot of those shows, there's some great Cirque shows, but a lot of those shows are like they're just put together, bro.
Super cheesy.
Yeah, and I'm sure they had their time. Like, I'm sure Vegas is kind of going through this transition period. I'm sure a lot of the older magician and the Elvis and a lot of people do come to Vegas for that. However, there's a market for a whole nother thing that's not being touched.
Well, I mean, you can kind of see it right now, right? Like the park at MGM.
No, right. So for the first time ever, they're bringing in like a lot of new acts. Like what they just signed Drake and Cardi B. And normally Vegas signs acts that come to the end, like the end of their role. Then they come to Vegas.
The Celine Dion.
Exactly. So. And they're legends. Once they're confirmed legends, they're like, all right, Vegas can take you and do that. But that brings us such an older crowd. Now they're bringing people new and this and that. That's why I'm like, bro, I know, like, I gotta get in there. I'm like, I just want my show. Just get it in there.
You're manifesting it right now.
Yeah.
I think you could do it. I
think
think Britney Spears kind of did that to a lot of these new artists,
right? Crazy? My dad used to drum for her too. Britney, if you listen to holler at me. Yeah, my dad. One of my first memories is he used to, when he came out here, was for a Britney Spears tour. It was Britney Spears and Khalees. Wow. It was dope for their drummers, like the Milkshake era. Yeah, and that Britney Spears had one of the wildest shows I've ever seen when I was a kid. And still, I'm probably sure her show is probably wild as hell. But like, yeah, man, Vegas.
Yeah, dude.
There's a ton of like showrooms. Listen,
that's
don't
the thing.
Get filled.
There's there's showrooms and for me, like, especially I know for someone who throws events, you walk through there. There's every casino has empty theaters. Like, some of them have shows. They don't have anything. I'm like, we can make a lot of money, but like you said, a lot of it is just old white dudes with their heads in their asses,
Yeah.
and they're not willing to hear anything about anything we got, cause they got their money, like they got billions, they got what they got. So you coming to them like, hey, I'm trying to do some hip hop, and they're like, bro, what? Like they don't care about that.
Yeah.
So but it's cool cause a lot of them now are rocking with us.
That's true. That is true.
And we have we have a lot of talent. We are trying to do something positive, not negative, and it's dope to see the people that like believe in us. Because whenever they do, it's a leap of faith. But whenever anyone takes that leap of faith, they're glad they did that.
Yeah, it pays off, right?
Yeah, man, always. It's always beneficial.
So let's let when your short show does happen on the Broadway show in Vegas happens.
Hell yeah.
What does that look like?
Like it'll consist of, I want to tell the story of what's it like growing up in Vegas as an artist. I want to talk about the show is pre-written, so what we're talking about, what we face, what the struggles that we did face, the struggles that artists face, and then just the stereotypical like what people think. And I think it's perfect because we can talk to the tourists. The tourists come here, they think people live in casinos.
They do.
If you had anything to talk to them and keep it real, like this is what it's like growing up, and then I want to framework it through the perspective of myself and other artists, so it can be a musical experience. It can be fun. We can talk about everything that Vegas has to offer, freely from the perspective that I grow up here, and I think it'll be dope. And I know that what inspired that is that other show that I was talking about, my dad's show. It's about the black experience, this and that, but it actually, I know a huge portion of the show is based on my dad and Savion and what their experience was performing in New York.
Yeah.
Street performing. I know that those scenes like that directly influenced the show because it's about the beat and how that came alive. And they had a very unique story, but we have a very unique story here in Vegas, and people are asking about it. So I'm like, that's what I want to give them. Like full extravaganza, drumming, rapping, tapping, everything. I want to take like the Blue Man Group to church and into the streets. Like,
Nice.
yeah.
Let's get it done, man.
Yeah, the flamingos, the dancers, all of it.
Like the true, because the thing is, like, I know we from here, so I know people that really do that, like that really do the showgirl stuff and really are full dancers, but they got backstories. And there's like, I'm out there performing, and there's so many other performers, and Vegas, the entertainment capital of the world. So there's some amazing performers, and then there's the amazing performers, and now we're the generation of their kids.
That's true.
And those kids are crazy talented, but no one pays attention to them because they're in the shadow of the other performers, honestly.
Yeah.
But we can fix that.
Easily.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
easily.
I think the Plaza has a open showroom.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Yeah, the Plaza, and they used to do this show called Recycled Percussions.
Yes.
I think yes. Yeah.
Shout outs to Recycled Percussions.
Yeah, that was they had the buckets and all that. Oh, the garbage
Yeah,
cans.
so-
and all that.
Garbage cans. Yeah.
So a story about that show is they gave me free tickets to that show one time. Me and my guy LaRon. LaRon's my drummer. They gave us free tickets because someone saw me play buckets, and they were the reason they were giving us free tickets was to invite us to a little, like maybe a portion, kind of to try us out. They want to see if we could do something with the show. When you walk into that show, they give you everybody in the audience. They give you pots and pans, and they give you drumsticks. That's a problem for two drummers in the audience. Because if you're on stage and what you're playing is all right, and we're in the audience, we're just gonna play because you told us we can play. I didn't do nothing wrong. But if the audience is gonna clap for me and not for you when you're on stage, that's not my fault. And it didn't end up too well for that, so we didn't end up with a spot and Recycled Percussions. I'm a real showman, and I would come from performing on the street. So when I gotta get a crowd, I like getting a crowd.
Yeah.
So, but shout outs to them. So that's dope. But yeah, we could do something like that. Honestly, my goal is like, I feel like New York would, because my show, I have a show from New York. Like we play buckets. Like that's like New York culture. I feel like they would eat it alive. But someone put me in charge of who I gotta talk to.
I think it's possible. I think we can make this happen like this year.
Oh yeah, that's my goal. Like that's my goal. Is just to make it happen and just go ahead. Cause I got all my music and everything I want to do, but like I got a whole I got visions, man.
The
so
mastermind.
yeah.
So, and you keep on bringing up your band. Touch a little bit on them.
Shout
right?
outs to the Noir movement, the
Noir
hardest working band in Las Vegas. Yo, Noir, all kids. We're grown now. We're 21, and I'm the youngest. But we all started in high school. Some of us started, I think, some of us they've been playing together since middle school. But we all officially linked up. We launched together in high school, and we started with like just really everybody doing shows, and we were the only people at the show. So we all gonna look out for each other and make sure everything else will get people here. And bro, we just rocking. And like at first, now people are finally taking us seriously in Vegas, and people are paying us, bro. But when I tell you, we had to do a bajillion free shows. Like everyone's like, bro, we don't do free shows. Nah, the music festivals, every Brooklyn Bowl, Hard Rock, every bar, then Noir has played with them, and every artist we had to do, every backyard, anything where there was opportunity to perform, me or Noir, we jumped on that. And Jeremy is the leader of Noir. He's a genius for like making sure everybody's there. And the thing was, anything we went to, like, it wasn't our show, but we would make it our show.
Yeah.
Even when it was an open mic night, you treat everything like it was a full performance, and people gravitated to that, and they would love it. So when they come home, they leave that they're just asking about us and that. So so shout outs to Noir. They, like I said, they did a sold out show with Mike Xavier at Hard Rock last night at Vinyl.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So it's beautiful. So
it is beautiful. What's the biggest stage you guys have played on thus far?
LIB, Life is Beautiful.
Oh, damn.
If not,
I think I actually saw that on your Instagram.
If not Life is Beautiful, then Brooklyn Bowl, but I want to say Life is Beautiful.
How was that experience?
Crazy. No, so Noir, like, they're so humble, and Noir they don't give a chance to brag, so I'm bragging on them real quick. So they do, Noir plays with me, they play with Mike, and then they play with Brittany Rose, right? They're not too, originally they weren't too keen on locals with like anything. But Life is Beautiful, like, they kind of took us in, but Noir has played Life is Beautiful, I think, every year. Mm-hmm. To the point where I think they should give them a stage, but they played it Life is Beautiful every year, and every year it's always like one of the dopest experiences of the set. And I wasn't even supposed to perform with Noir this last year. This last minute, like the day of Life is Beautiful, they're performing with Mike. They had one show. They did 3 shows of Life is Beautiful, yeah. Right? They performed with Mike and did one show on the main stage. It was a beautiful performance, and not just by all our standards. Like, out of the whole night, Noir has always something unique, and it's just so beautiful. So they did a show with Mike Xavier. Then they rushed them right after that set, rushed them to another set. They performed. Then Zappos called us over to do something. They called them, and then it's during Life is Beautiful. They're like, hey, so can you guys perform? We're like, what? And then I was the one there, and they was like, Brad, you're just going to have to do it. So we rocked that out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, man. So
right time, right place.
Yeah, right time, right. And that's I got to do a couple years back. I got to do like a little spoken word poem for LIB. So they're always super dope over there. But yeah, so I think that was one of the biggest stages. Now we did last year, and then this year, probably towards the summer, we self-funded a tour.
Oh,
we went to like New York, Minnesota, a bunch of places in California, and those shows all were like really hype, like really dope. And I didn't really expect, like, that was our first time being out of the state, like seeing, but we got fans, yo. I was like, what? Like, New York was lit. I was like, what? Like, and I'm from New York, so I'm bringing the band back to New York. I don't know, but yo, I played buckets, like the band, everybody lit, we loved it. So like, I just have so much faith in what we do, you know?
Yeah, well, you have to.
Yeah,
that's the only way to be.
Hell yeah, some beautiful art, man. I just love it. Artists pushing artists.
And that's the only way it can go.
For sure.
Let's talk about cannabis, right? So,
yeah,
I mean, how long has that been a part of your life? When's the first time you smoked cannabis?
Damn, that's a good question.
Do you remember?
No, yes, no. The first. So my dad, that's what I'm gonna talk about, cause I remember. Now I talk to him now, and he's like, "Bro, you gotta stop smoking so much weed." But he's from New York. But the reason he tells me that is because he used to smoke a lot of weed. He used to smoke a lot, because I show him shows now that I study, and like I'm like, yo, look at this and that. He's like, bro, I don't remember none of that. Like, in the TV shows, he's like, bro, I don't remember any of that. I was way too high. So, I remember like my first memories of weed. I remember being in the studio with everyone as they were making those old shows. I remember all of that, and I'm not saying I was high. I'm just saying I was always around all of that. And then I probably started smoking weed because I don't sleep. Like I'll be up all night. That's how I started rapping. I rap. I used to rap till I sleep. That's like through elementary school and shit. So when I started smoking weed, it was probably like the beginning of high school, the end of middle school, because I don't sleep. And then when you go to performing arts school, bro, you go to school from till sometimes you don't leave school till like 9 at night, and I had to be up by 4 to get on the bus. And I don't sleep. That shit, bro. I don't sleep. That was it. So like when I started smoking weed, I'd be knocked out. But the first time I smoked weed, bro, I felt like Tony Stark. That's the only way I explain that shit. Bro, that's like I turned out Tony Stark when he turned on Jarvis. I was like, oh yeah, this shit is cool. Bro, I wrote so many raps the first time. Nah, man. But I think actually, but the first time I think I got high, I think I took an edible the first time.
Oh really?
Yeah. Everyone always talks about edibles don't hit you, right? So. It was 420. 420 my sophomore year in high school, and somebody I just paid because I just started making money playing buckets, like just started making money. So I didn't give a fuck. I had all the homies, and I was like, bro, I paid the homie to make us like 2 big old things of brownies. And it was 420, and it was supposed to be like a whole lot of us, but it was actually 420 on 420, and there was only 3 people there, like me and 2 of my homies. And I was like, and basically, everybody flaked. I was like, oh, everybody flaked out on us. Like, fuck them, I don't care. I was like, we had a big tray. We're supposed to cut it up into brownies. I was like, we just gonna split it into thirds, bro. Fuck it, I don't even care. I was like, bro, I was high for like 3 days, bro. And all I remember is just sitting in like a jacuzzi, just writing raps for like hours, bro.
Doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, but I was like, it wasn't. I was just so that was like, out of everything else, that wasn't the first time I got high, but that felt like the first time I got high. Like it was like, whoa.
The first time you got really high.
Yeah, shit was slow. I felt like I was tripping, like really tripping. Those brownies were good.
So like, what's your relationship today with cannabis?
I love weed. Lately I've been actually smoking less. I used to smoke, I'm gonna say like a year ago this time, I was going through like maybe an eighth a quarter a day, right?
That's a lot.
Yeah, I was blowing mad blunts, and
that's what happens.
Mad blunts. I love a lot of blunts, and then but also too, I was hanging out like I had just got my crib, and I was hanging out with like homies were always around. So when people are always around, you always smoking, Of
course.
And then. But that's just kind of like around the time the backwood train caught up.
Oh yeah.
I don't like woods.
Neither do
so
I.
I'm not a fan of smoking backwoods.
But everyone in Vegas does, right?
Yes. So I had this homie, shout outs to Gretzky. He would come to the crib and roll at these fat old woods, and he would do this every morning for like 2 weeks straight, come to my house and roll 3 or 4 gram backwoods. Jesus. Sometimes like 5 grams. And the first time he did this, it was only like 2 of us, and there was a lot of us in the room. But then afterwards, it would just be me and him, and this is just how he smokes. Like, he smokes that many woods, that fat, back to back all the time. So he would come to my house like noon in the morning, bro. Until eventually, I was like, bro, I cannot stand this shit. Like, those fucking backwoods. So then after that, I went back to just smoking like hella bowls, and like I smoke a bowl, I'm cool. Like, was like realistically, like I smoke a bowl and I'm cool. Like, no, do anything. So then I was just I was smoking a little less lately.
So is that like your main way of smoking? It's like
I smoke bowls, and eat edibles. I have some amazing edible plugs. Through Culture Cannabis shit. Yeah. Some amazing, and edibles don't normally get me. And like didn't used to, but then I found out that they make edibles from distillate. Mm-hmm. And have you ever had one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, those bitches are crazy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's talk about the difference. What is that, Tony?
You can make edibles in multiple ways, like with actual flour, right?
Yeah.
Or you can make it with like concentrate, like a distillate.
Yes.
And it's a lot stronger when you make it with a distillate.
Yeah, man. So like, if you take edibles, you make edibles. You make weed can of butter. You make can of oil, whatever, and it's a great way. It takes like an hour for that to kick in your body, and the high is pretty good depending on what you take, and it lasts. But that distillate high, it's like if you smoke, it's like taking dabs, but in edible form.
Exactly.
So when you take that, damn near, first off, it's like, I swear to you, in like 15 minutes, I'm like, bro, I'm high. What the hell? And then it just never goes. It just keeps going up. You're just like, what the, bro? I had one. I was in New York just recently. I had a distillate edible. I only had half. Me and my girl. No, I didn't have half. I had a fourth. Me and my girlfriend both took fourths. I was so high at this concert. I was like, bro, I'm talking to God right now. Like, it was so. Those edibles are pretty strong. But I normally just smoke and edibles. Yeah, that's it.
So other than sleeping, do you see any other benefits from using it?
Yeah, bro. There's a whole, of course, a lot of like creative benefits.
Yeah. Talk about that.
Yeah, man. Well, I don't know. I want to say not that weed helps you. It helps you be creative, but it helps you pay attention to your own creativeness. A lot of times you doubt yourself. A lot of times you don't understand. Like, you close doors in yourself that don't need to be closed. So it allows you to just see all the opportunities and see all the lanes. I like to say that I don't smoke. I like to say I don't smoke recreationally. I smoke ceremonially. I smoke to get things done, and I smoke when I'm in a place where when I feel like I need guidance or I need help, I smoke. You know what I mean? So I turn to myself to write music. I'm like, damn, I'm stuck. Let me light up.
Mm-hmm.
I had to. There was a point where I felt like I was like getting real big, and I had to start working out. I hate working out, bro. I hate working out. I hate running. I hate all that shit. But I was like, let me smoke, and then I smoke and like I pray, and then I go for a run. Like, so yeah, I think smoking weed has some great. Bro. I think and this is weird. I'm getting low key like religious, but I think in the Bible. I think when he's talking about the forbidden fruit, I think it's weed.
You think so?
100%, bro.
It makes you more conscious of what's going on?
No, yeah, because and I had this epiphany when I was high off the edible last time. So I was convinced, bro. I was like, God told me this, man. So I felt
Possible.
because I'm not too keen, but I know that when they ate the forbidden fruit, it was talking about good and evil, and that's what it was. Now you can see good for evil. And we're not supposed to know good from evil. You ever smoke too much weed and just get paranoid?
Oh, yeah.
Like, real paranoid. But it could nothing have to do anything right now. But you're paranoid about, suddenly I'm aware of everything I've done wrong ever. I'm like, shit. Yeah. Hold on. So, when something like that, I was like, bro, I do not. So, I'm a firm believer, and that's crazy though. For those of y'all that don't know, if you ever get that paranoid, you smoke too much. I know you can't overdose on weed, but that's how you overdose on weed. Like, your THC, that's what it does to your body. When you get that paranoid, you guys just stop smoking or take some CBD.
Yeah, go to bed.
Yeah, just go like it. So, and I think that's a good reason, because if you're able to be aware of what you're doing wrong, you're not going to do those things wrong again.
It's true.
You know what I mean? And so that you can take the paranoia and be like a bad thing. But I know personally, if I ever get paranoid, a lot of times you just got to get that shit off your chest, right?
Yeah.
And once you get that shit off, you are suddenly unparanoid. So the thing is, if you smoke weed and you didn't do shit wrong, you're not going to feel paranoid. But if you did something wrong, you might feel bad.
Yeah. Oh,
and that's why I think weed is a forbidden fruit. It's either that or mangoes. I got a lot of theories.
What's the theories on mangoes?
Because you know how you eat a mango and you get higher?
I've never
Wait,
done that.
Y'all are stoners and y'all don't know that. Okay, so it's a scientific fact. Someone got to pull it up for me, but
is that kind of like vitamin C with?
Yeah, I don't know. I know a bunch of like random facts. I call them like the bottom of the planner facts because I didn't pay attention in school. But they got the facts in the bottom of the planner. I would just memorize shit like that. But mangoes is something that it goes with THC and it actually makes you higher. So
it might be the terpenes in the mangoes that help. I don't know if that's the right word, but they might be like the.
Yeah, right. So if next time, like, one of my favorite things is I just get high and then go get like a mango smoothie, That shit is beautiful.
I'm about to do that after this.
That's what I do. So I would say it's between mangoes or that, and that's because of weed. Both of those things have to do with weed.
Doesn't matter.
Rastafarians believe the higher you are, the closer you are to God.
I could believe that.
Yeah, I smoke a lot of weed too. So
A lot of people think about that, like with DMT, right? Like you can,
see me. I am cool off the DMT. Bro, one guy. I'm just scared of that. I like weed, and like that distillate edible was damn near too much for me the other night. So like, but yeah, I think, but they're all psychedelics, and every psychedelic, like how that paranoia effect, every psychedelic can have its benefits, but then they also have their like, if you abuse a psychedelic, your psychedelic will let you know you're abusing it. You can't DMT too much because that shit'll tell you, no, you gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, so then that's the right thing I was at with the weed when I was like, hey, you too high right now. You're way too high. Like, fuck that.
That's how I am with the edibles. I can't even do the edibles.
Yeah,
it's just too much for me.
See,
I get paranoid on it.
Well, and a lot of people too with the edibles is if you have acid reflux, it's really hard to get high off edibles.
Yeah, that's how my body is. That's why that's why I take the distillate ones.
Yeah, because if you like the flower ones, which are not as strong as the distillate ones, will get burned up by the the acid, so they won't get into your bloodstream and won't get you fucked up.
The more you know.
The distillate ones will get you fucked up.
Yeah, those, bro. And distillate, you can put it in there. And here's the thing. I thought I was something for like I took one of those edibles and I was like, oh, I'm messed up. I was on the bus the other day. I met this hippie guy. And he's like, yeah, this weed we got today is so pussy. I've never heard anybody say that. He was like, the weed you guys got today is so pussy. I remember back in my day. I was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, all right, so this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm like, well, so what did you used to do? He was like, yeah, we used to get the distillate from on the plants. I'm like, okay. He was like, yeah, we used to mix it in the vodka shots. I'm like, the fuck are y'all doing? Like, that just sounds like death. Like,
yeah, sounds like
that's the bus life, bro.
Yeah, they're right. It's like, yeah, we're real hippies. I was like, yeah, you got that one, bro. I'm cool.
Are you a dispensary guy? What dispensaries do you go to around town?
That's a good question. I don't think I've ever been to any dispensary except for New Leaf. Let's see. Yeah.
When you go to dispensary, what do you pick up usually?
I pick up ounces.
Oh, okay.
Full ounces.
Fuck
a
it.
lot
Send
of the
it.
time. Yeah, no, because I have a whole lot of like. I was smoking in my house. People always come to me for weed. Like they're always. People know I have. Bro, before I had weed, people knew I had weed. Like people, when I was young, I have dreads, and I've always had dreads. People used to pull over their cars and be like, "Bro, I know you know where the weed's at." I'd be like 12 years old. I know I don't know where the weed's at, but they would tell me that I do. So I'm like, all right. So nowadays, like my crib, like my mom smokes mad weed, and I smoke my benefits of marijuana. When I was, my mom always has worked 4 jobs. She has 3 kids, and she raised us by herself. So she's always worked like. I didn't see my mom. She used to go to work at midnight, get home at midnight, go to work at 3 a.m. So when I graduated my senior year in high school, she got diagnosed with chronic migraines, like chronic. She had to stop working. My mom to stop working. We're like, what the fuck? But she had to, because she couldn't do shit. Like she'll be in tears and this and that.
Oh yeah, migraines are no joke.
So and at the time, my mom was always super stressed out. Like, she worked 4 fucking jobs. So, one time I got home from school. I don't want to say I got the shit smacked out of me this night, but, like, I came in, and she was going off on me. I just came in the house. You know how your mom is. She's going off on you. I just came in the house. And I snapped back. I shouldn't have snapped back. I know that shit. I said
it happens.
Yeah, no, it did, bro. It was like teenage years.
Of course.
So.
Hormones.
So I snapped back and I was like, Mom, you need to just smoke a blunt or something. I said that to my mom, bro. I was like, oh, I'm finna get in so much trouble after this. So I think she smacked the shit out of me. But the next day I came home and the house just smelled like weed. Like, and first I thought it was me. Like, I came home and I ran to my room. I was like, oh shit, I'm in trouble. Like, but it wasn't. And then I noticed, I was like, oh, where's Ma at? Bro, I seen her, she was blazed out of her mind. She was happy as hell. And she's like, my head don't hurt. And ever since, and the thing is, she went to so many doctors, they were giving her all these medications and all that. None of that shit worked, bro. She was still having just pain, wasn't going to work and this. So then, now my mom is the weed advocate, the weed mama.
That's
like
awesome.
She doesn't. So that, yeah, man. So Yeah.
That's amazing, dude. Yeah, that's a great cannabis story.
Yeah, I love weed for making my mama happy, man. That shit is beautiful.
Shout out.
I was stressed out, bro.
She's super chill now, right?
Yeah, bro. Like it's a whole different person. Like it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful thing, man. Yeah, weed.
Weed. Nice.
Yeah, well, that's dope, man. Listen, we appreciate you having on.
Man, I thank y'all for having me.
You want to plug anything before we sign off?
You already know what it is. It's your boy RED. You can find me on Instagram at 1MRED. It's I'm Red, but with the one. Look, I just got a whole lot of new music coming out, a whole lot of things. Follow me on Instagram because when it comes out, I need you to see it. So I appreciate y'all and shout outs to God. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Well,
Yes, sir.
you good?
I'm great.
Episode 1 in the books.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Lit.
Peace.